Hello and welcome to Flory Models Kit Review time. Today we've got NuNU models 1/24 scale Audi R8 GT3. An absolutely fantastic looking car, I have to say. Absolutely saw the box art for this and was thinking, wow, that does look very, very nice indeed. A couple of options down in here as well. So if you haven't heard of NuNU, as I say, we've been doing a few of their kits recently. They are very, very nice indeed. So you can see that's your second option for the markings in there. It is a stunning looking car. I don't think any of us can disagree with that particular one. Okay, kit number for this one is, where's the kit number for it? It is PN24004. Okay, and then we've got some colour call outs and bits down in here in the back as always. So, in the box you are greeted with, my way of standing this up, here we go. Okay, we've got a decal call out, which funny enough is in black and white. I would be expecting to see that in colour. You can see a very full box of pieces down in here. So we've got clear sprue, as you might expect. We've got a chrome sprue, some tyres, and then we've got the actual shell itself, looking very nice. Okay, and then down in here we've got a bag with some black parts. We've got more framework and various things. And we've got the other ones down in there. And then the important bit for us is the instructions and the decals to have a look at first. Okay, so these do this sort of giant pull open thing, if I remember rightly. There we go. Alright, so finding your starting position, which will be down in here. Okay, so over here we've got the usual thing. So you've got your colour call outs, as you might expect, just down in here. They are in guns format, so you can easily do a change from those. So you've got your body parts down here on the end, so you've obviously got the steering things. There's decals right the way through to detail this up as well, so you've got decals for down in here for your detail painting guide as well, as you're going to make your way along. So you've got the transmission at the back, you've got the cooling radiator at the front, suspension system going down in there and working your way down basically through all the engine bits and pieces. Then you've obviously got the cockpit bits going down in here, so we've got the tail end with the exhaust and then some of the parts going down in here. Looks like we've got a fire bottle, things like that. Again, some detailed bits and pieces to go in there, and then really it's just working your way through the entire sort of situation. So we've got the top of the engine being fitted in, cooling reservoirs, things like that going down in there. The dash as well for going down in, steering wheel, all the dials, all the various parts as you might imagine. And then roll cage, so we've got a full roll cage going down into this one as well, rear view mirror being fitted in, huge bucket seats as you might expect, and then obviously the engine unit being fitted down into the back end of that one. Okay, looks like we've got the sort of door cards going fitted in at the same time. Then you've got the marrying up of the top part with obviously the engine and the roll cage and everything down onto the actual lower body being fitted down into that one, onto the chassis. Wheels going on, hubs, things like that. We'll have a good look at that in a moment. And then usual thing, working your way on the sort of the shell on the top half. So adding all the internal parts into this one, obviously pre-painting, and then adding all the parts into that one. Glasswork all being fitted and put into it, as you might imagine, right the way through. And then it's dropping the upper shell onto the body, onto the chassis itself. Spoilers, various things at the end, and then down here at the end we've actually got the actual decal detail set for it right the way through. So say if you wanted to go with the red, or you go with the silver, or you can go with the white, and all the areas just like that. Okay, so that's pretty much standard all the way through. Okay, then if we have a look down in here, so in here we have got the decals, and I like to have a nose at these just to see how good they are. Okay, so lots of decals, as you might imagine. So down in here we've got, get these out. Oh, that's it. Okay, actually they look very, very nice. As you can see, good solid printing on that one with the red and with the black and the white. Really solid colours, so nothing translucent about that, so that'd be absolutely fantastic. Nice touch as well, just down in here we've actually got the black trim for the actual windscreen rubbers and things like that as well, and all the other parts just like that, so that's quite nice. We've also got decals down here on the side for the tyres, so they're very nice indeed. And then down in here we've got all of the smaller ones for the inside, so obviously we've got the harnesses, we've got the dash, the various parts in here. I have got, though, I have to say, a bit of a crease just down through my decals. This is brand new box as well, so got a little bit of one down in there, but there we go. Okay, that all looks very nice as well. These silver parts, beautifully done, easily labelled and things like that. And then last up we've actually got the symbols, and these are actually slightly raised for these metal ones. I'm trying to catch it in the light without blinding the camera, but these are actually metallic. So beautifully done with the actual details like that. So that's very nice indeed. Then we've got the main body of this bag. Are we cutting our way in here? No, we are back. Okay. Good solid plastic colour on this. There's nothing translucent. It's not the thickest. There's a little bit of bend and warp to this one, but it's quite complex. So by the time you take out the retaining bars and stuff like that, all moulded in one. And again, beautiful detail right the way through. Don't take any notice of this wisping, as I call it, or ghosting, the little shadows on here. It's just where it cools at different times when they meet up, when they come in from the different injection ports, okay? But generally, very nice. The only thing I will say, I don't know if you can see it, we've got this small rippling just down in on by the filler caps, got it, if you can quite see that one, but there's a couple of little places on this one where it sort of got it. I'm not sure what that is, but there we go. And it looks like we've got a tiny little bit of sink mark, but I'm really being very, very picky on this. There's a small sink mark down here, you call it a dent, and that's caused by this, just the actual framing in here. So again, there is a couple of tiny little points. If you wanted it to be absolutely perfect, you're probably going to have to take care of those. But again, it's only because it's a mirror chassis, as I call it, is imperfect in detail. But you can see loads of great detail right the way around on this one, getting it from the proper angles, as you can see. Okay, whilst we're looking at the smaller parts, I don't think we need to get this one out, but you see we've got pre-chromed parts, so you can either use this or take it all off and use your Molotov pen and do it that way. That's very nice indeed. We have some tyres. Have a look to see if they're sort of scrubbed or anything. So again, they are canted, if you can see them, they're slightly leaning, but we don't have any seam lines on those at all running through the middle and all the rest of it. The only thing I would say is they're a little bit rough, but I think, you know, that's actually quite a nice texture. It's more of a road-like texture than perhaps what you would find normally, as in they're not shiny, they look worn, so that's actually quite a nice touch. So obviously 4 of them and a couple of polycaps just down in there, as we might imagine. Let's just stick him back and keep him safe. Okay, get me. Oh, get it there. There we go. Okay, clear parts. Again, to be honest, we don't really need to get them out. As you can see, they're clear right the way through. I'm checking all the clarities and they all look to be crystal clear. Being flat, you never know really could have a problem with that one. But it's nice that you've got big areas right the way around. We know we've got decals, which are going to go right the way around the outside as well. So again, fixing these in place, you're not going to have a problem with glue tracking through or anything else like that. And then also you've got decals, which are going to cover it, so you don't even have to paint it. So very nice job on that one. Right, okay, so into the body parts. So let's get in. Frisky bag. Okay, so this is sprue A. As you can see, some really nice stuff down in here. And again, the things that stand out straight away is obviously we've got the power unit just at the back here. We'll look at the other way around for a change. Again, it needs all painting and sorting out, and there's not a great deal where it's just moulded in black like that. We've got the inside of the door cards, again, looking pretty much as you'd expect. And then obviously we've got the roll cage, which you've got some, obviously, ejector pins just to take care of just on the actual parts, but none of them are actually on the part itself. They all look to be clean, very nicely moulded, no problem at all, no different with flash. Burring is always a problem on roll cages, and that's the seam line that sometimes is from the squash together, as I call it. It's minimal, so there's no problem with that either, so that's pretty good. Floor pan type area down in here, as you can see. To be honest, considering you're not going to see much of this, there's quite a lot of detail in it, so that's quite nice. The other side though, on the underparts, as you can see, pretty good. No problem with any of that whatsoever. Okay, that's very nice. Then we've actually got, if we do this one, might be a bit better. And then down in here. Okay. So down here, this is sprue C. Alright, so you've actually got the under tray down in here looking very nice, no problem at all with that one. And then we've got things like the splitter on the front, we've got the grille and all the other sort of major components. We've got the actual brake discs and calipers down here on the side, and then obviously inner detail, things like that. And to be honest with you, all of that looks really very, very nice indeed. Okay, over on the other side, again, clean, crisp. There is some raised ejector ports just down in here. You can probably see them. It's raised here. Again, they'll just come straight out of the way, and I'm sure they're not in the way. There is a little bit to clean up you're going to have to do down in here with this grilling. You've got ejector pins, but at least they're not on the part, which is a very nice touch indeed. And yeah, can't fault that. Very nice. Okay, hubs for the wheels. Looking good. Okay, one central nut as we might expect on that type of car right the way through. Again, clean. Very nice, no problem. And then down in here, some of the smaller parts on sprue F. These are some of the lighting rig areas. Again, good, clean, crisp. Again, you've got these moulding ejectors on the back, things like that. But they're easy, just push them off and literally away you go. All right, so that's pretty good. And then, last up, we've got some of the trim on the internals and things like that. So if we get in here. Alright, so down in here, sprue B. So as you say, you've got the working mechanics of a lot of the stuff down in here. So as you say, you've got the engine parts, suspension, transmission, things like that just down up here. Got the seat right the way through, transmission sort of gearbox, some of the combing for the instrument panel over the top of the engine. Again, it's all moulded in black, and you can go around and paint these up. Rear spoiler, again, don't take any notice of what you can see on camera. That is all flush, it's just ghosting as I call it. There's no sink marks in it or anything else like that. It's totally smooth, so that's very nice. Exhaust and down on the back side. Yeah, very nice. It's funny how they go from one to the other. They've got these huge, great locating for the sprue attachment points here. Then you get the minute ones just down in here as well. So it's funny how they sort of go from different types. But generally, they're all very nicely done. No problem with ejector pins anywhere that I've just seen. So actually, that's quite a nice kit indeed. There we go. What can you say? It's called 2-in-1 Decals, because obviously you've got the different versions for doing it in this one. It's a great kit. If you haven't seen any of the sort of NuNU kits, or the Platts kits as we call them as well, have a look. We've got the reviews of them up on the site. They are very, very nice kits. They seem to go together very nicely. We've got many members on the site who've sort of built these and reported that there's no fit issues or anything else like that as well. So there we go. That is the NuNU 1/24th scale Audi R8 GT3.